Good afternoon and welcome to the Driftwood Hotel at beautiful Kings Beach, Caloundra. I appreciate you taking the time to come and consider my investment proposal and hope by the end of today you can see the unique opportunity I'm presenting to you and we can make a deal. I'm Lisa McGregor, the owner and general manager of the Driftwood Hotel. I purchased the hotel 5 years ago in January of 2012. I have over 14 years previous experience in the hospitality industry, with the last 8 years specifically in hotel management. It was an absolute dream come true when the opportunity came up for me to purchase the hotel, and I'm extremely proud of the great strides we've made in improving the hotel from both a guest experience and financial perspective. As you're aware, the hotel is located at Kings Beach on the Sunshine Coast. And to give you an idea of the tourism potential of the area, the Sunshine Coast region hosted 28 major events, attracting 63,000 visitors and participants, generating 48.5 million in economic activity for the region in 2014 to 2015, so as expressed in the Sunshine Coast Regional Council's annual report. Kings Beach is also the home of the Caloundra Music Festival, which attracts 25,000 people over a 4-day period in September or October of each year and is now recognised as a national music event on the festival calendar. The Driftwood Hotel itself is a 300 guest room establishment. We completed two 25-room extensions in 2015 and 16 to accommodate for the growth in reservation numbers. We've also built many facilities to increase guest comfort while adding supplementary revenue streams for the hotel, such as the conference and event centre, the leisure centre, and the hotel shop. The Driftwood has a high-performing restaurant that has also required an expansion of 70 seats over the past 3 years to meet the growing demand from hotel guests and the local community. So these figures represent the monthly average in 2011, the year before I took over the hotel, and last year, 2016. We've seen major improvements in all aspects of the business, and with an increase in room occupancy of 53.26%, it's easy to foresee there was an overall uplift in the hotel's financial results. We credit the uptake in occupancy to our improved guest services and facilities, along with the increased focus on the customer experience and customer service. We also significantly increased our advertising efforts and diversified the method of advertising to reach a broad market and increase our public awareness. Ket and Youngs tell us that GOPAR, or the gross operating profit per available room, provides a clear indication of a hotel's profit potential and in most cases better reflects the profitability, management efficiency, and underlying value of hotel properties as a whole. At the Driftwood Hotel, we've seen the monthly average GOPAR rise 435% on average monthly from the 2011 result to the 2016 one. This is in large part to the overall uptake in revenue from the hotel and in particular the other operating departments, while maintaining a strict management over the expenditure. This has also contributed to the increase of the average monthly income before taxes of 443%. The food and beverage department of the hotel is one we are extremely proud of, and it has seen staggering success over the past 5 years, with a 465% increase to its annual income when compared to that of 2011. We've overhauled the menu 3 times and upgraded to better quality suppliers twice, while still providing our customers great value for money. This has kept the menu fresh and exciting for our regular guests, while becoming more intricate and high quality as food tourism popularity has risen. We have also looked to additional income streams for the food and beverage department, such as the installation of minibars in all the rooms, opening a second bar, and opening the conference and event centres. The uptake in room revenue is due to better service proposition and the hotel's facilities provided in 2016 versus that in 2011. The conference and event centres also play a significant role in the 251% annual revenue difference between the 2 years. The other operated departments have been by far the biggest area of growth for the hotel. Before 2012, this area of the business was essentially non-existent. In 2016, the other operated departments generated over $1 million in revenue compared to 5,072 in 2011, a difference of more than 19,000%. The other operated departments, such as the leisure centre and hotel shop, while contributing greatly to the revenue of the hotel, also act as another guest convenience and potential selling point for the hotel. While there was some financial stress in 2012, the first year of the takeover, due to the extremely large capital expenditure to complete many of these extra facilities, with tightened fiscal management of the Driftwood Hotel, I've been able to turn around financially and produce these impressive results. I believe it was just a case of being overzealous and wanting to run before I could walk. Through solid reflection on the situation, leading to a much stricter rein on the hotel's finances and better staggering of major works at the hotel, I was able to learn the valuable lesson of timing, planning, and fiscal responsibility. We had 3 major strategies for improving the hotel over the last 5 years. First being to create additional income streams, secondly to increase guest comfort and value for money, and thirdly to appeal to our business clientele. We created additional income streams through installing minibars in all the rooms, opening a leisure centre with a spa, by opening a hotel shop, and creating the conference and event space, as well as opening a second bar. As you can see by the table, all of these strategies have now created a positive return on investment and will only continue to generate income into the future. Perhaps the most surprising return has come from the hotel shop. It has well and truly outperformed the expectation we had for it and continues to show growth year on year. The leisure centre and conference centre were major elements of the Driftwood Hotel's growth strategy. They have become a great draw card for the hotel, and it was crucial to the survival of the hotel to get these operational as quick as possible, which, as you can see over the last 5 years, has proven to be a financially wise decision. It was also really important for us to improve the customer experience at the Driftwood Hotel, as it had been declining in the years before I took it over. We needed to focus back on the basics of hotel operations, just making our guests happy. We listened to their feedback through the HOTS reviewer and also on social media, and implemented changes where we could to be constantly improving the customers' perceptions of the hotel. We provided many additional facilities and services to increase customer ease and satisfaction, and we believe this was a major factor in turning around this hotel, ultimately, from a financial perspective, increasing its revenue. So we wanted to make our business guest stay as convenient and productive as possible so they could continue to work efficiently from the hotel. We added services such as internet access in their rooms, a business centre with desks and a fax machine, and of course we opened the conference centre to attract group events. Business clientele became a focus due to the repeat nature of their stays and the large volume of guests per interaction in the case of conferences. The conference centre continues to show steady growth as it has over the past 5 years, from year 1 to year 2, the growth of the conference centre was 261%, and in subsequent years has been at least 131%. We believe this is due to the accurate pricing of the service and successful advertising through mediums such as the business press, direct sales, the use of a PR firm, and the online search engines. To gauge some current industry benchmarks for how competitor hotels are doing in the area, I looked to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Based on their survey of tourist accommodation, they show the average room occupancy for a mid-sized hotel is 63.8%, which was an increase of 0.9 on the previous year's results. The Driftwood Hotel currently has an average room occupancy of 80.04%, which is significantly healthier than that of the surrounding hotels. The ABS also estimates on average takings for the first half of the year to be 2,444,000. Based on the first half of 2016, the Driftwood Hotel took 6,294,720 in revenue. So that is a 157% increase over the local average. We're extremely pleased with these results, and it just goes to show all the effort we've put into improving the customer experience is paying off with increased guest patronage and ultimately revenue for our hotel. Now I'd like to go on to discuss with you the strategy I have for moving the Driftwood Hotel forward over the next 5 years and the investment opportunity that I have to present to you. Food-centric gastronomic tourism has had a profound effect on the industry, and I believe this is a time to seize the opportunity to increase the overall revenue and stature of the Driftwood Hotel by focusing on this emerging trend. Television shows like MasterChef and My Kitchen Rules are proof that people are becoming more and more interested in food and the dining experience. The Queensland Government, in their Sunshine Coast Regional Economic Development Strategy report, also see this growing demand for unique dining experiences and determine there are opportunities for growth in local specialty or niche foods and beverage production. Levin et al. Tells us, according to a 2016 trend report by Skift, which tracks the travel industry food is the leading reason people travel. That even hotel restaurants, once a way of convenience, are now a destination in themselves. The strategy for growth over the next 5 years is to enter the gastronomic tourism market with a fine dining restaurant on the rooftop of the hotel. It would initially be of capacity of 50 seats to maintain an intimate fine dining atmosphere and would have a set degustation menu showcasing native and locally made produce of the Sunshine Coast with a cost of $105 per person. The World Tourism Organization, in their global report on food tourism, found that when it comes to gastronomic tourism experience, tourists are more likely to travel somewhere that experiments with local produce. And the positioning of the restaurant on the rooftop also serves a strategic purpose. While providing a beautiful ocean view backdrop to the restaurant, it also means customers must come through the hotel lobby to go to the restaurant, and also increases the exposure of the hotel to potential new guests. To calculate the startup and construction costs involved in opening the restaurant, I used the data from restaurantowner.com. In 2016, they surveyed over 700 restaurant owners to gauge how much they spent to start up their restaurants. I've used the upper quartile results to estimate the capital required to open the restaurant based on the fact that we're looking for a high-end finish, and the fine dining nature of the restaurant will mean the kitchen requires some extra specialty equipment. To calculate the revenue of the restaurant, I determined the number of set menu services to be held over the week, being a total of 13 with a capacity of 50 customers per service, equaling 650 customers for the restaurant per week at a charge of $105 per person. The revenue forecast over the next 5 years is based on a 50% occupancy of the restaurant in year 1, increasing 10% annually. Our current restaurant at the Driftwood has shown growth of 16 to 18% over the past 4 years, so I believe we are conservative in the estimate of a 10% annual growth. The expenditure forecast is also based on the current hotel restaurant, which has an average cost of sales of 52.79% based on the past 5 years of operation. As the new restaurant has more demanding menu and requires more skill and time to execute, I have been conservative again and anticipated a cost of sales of 60%. Based on these figures, it is forecast that the new fine dining restaurant at the Driftwood Hotel would make a healthy profit year on year and will also inspire a new segment of tourism market to stay with the Driftwood Hotel, thus increasing the demand for hotel rooms and requiring a further expansion of the hotel. Based on the previous 5 years' data on external meal sales, it has been calculated that on average per month, 50.81% of the meals in the existing restaurant are purchased by guests of the hotel. It's anticipated that the food-centric tourism movement at the Driftwood Hotel would generate a 25% upturn in the occupancy of the hotel, resulting in the need for additional rooms. To calculate the number of additional rooms required, I use 3 assumptions: that 50% of the customers of the restaurant are also guests of the hotel, that 25% of them are new business to the hotel that would have not existed before, and that the average room occupancy is 2.1 people. As you can see, the greatest expansion is required in year 1, 2017, with 77 rooms to meet the new demand created by the restaurant, with only 15 to 16 rooms required in each subsequent year to keep up with the small growth of the hotel and restaurant. To calculate the capital cost of the expansion of the additional rooms, I use the cost of the previous extensions being $25,865 per room. The initial expansion in 2017 is the most significant, with 77 rooms at a cost of just short of $2 million. The revenue forecast has been made using the average room rate per night of $70.02 and the 2016 average monthly occupancy of 80.04%. In the first year of the additional 77 rooms, we will be looking at an additional revenue of $1,575,117, increasing by 14 and 20% over the next 4 years. My investment opportunity for you is this. For a capital injection of $500,000 for the restaurant construction and startup and $2 million for the hotel room expansion project, you will receive a 28.25% share in the business. I make this offering of 28.25% of the business based on the current valuation of the hotel being $8,850,300, which I've calculated using the capitalized future earnings method. Businessvaluations.com determines that this method of valuing the business based on future profits the business will generate is the method of choice, as it takes into account the adjusted profits and return on investment. Using the average net profit over the past 3 years and the desired rate of return of 20%, I was able to accurately value the Driftwood Hotel's worth. As previously discussed, we have the annual revenue forecast for the restaurant and the hotel rooms. From this, I was able to determine the overall rate of return for the investment of $2.5 million over the 5 years from 2017 to 2021 is 543%. The payback period for the investment would be over 3.5 years, as the restaurant and the hotel will be maintaining 80% of their respective revenues as funds to cover operations for their departments. And in the case of the hotel, the future room expansions in the years 2018 to 2021. The investor would therefore be paid back at a rate of 20% of the net revenue until they are paid back in full. Based on the total rooms sold over the past 5 years, I was able to forecast the benefit to other departments within the hotel that the new restaurant will impact. I calculated on average how much each room spent on certain added extras at the hotel and extrapolated those figures out over the next 5 years. From these figures, you can see that the Driftwood could add another $18,947 to the food and beverage revenue over the next 5 years and $1,256 in other operated departments incidentally. Of course, with any investment, there are some risks, and I have considered the most likely and completed a risk assessment to determine possible contingencies for dealing with such situations. The first risk being the demand for the restaurant and its unique play on native Sunshine Coast ingredients may not generate as much interest as hoped. To combat this, we would carry out a multifaceted advertising campaign in which we would target the foodie market and possibly get the endorsement from a local celebrity chef. If by the end of the second year of operation, the investors believe the restaurant and hotel expansion are not achieving the proposed targets, there is potential to change the direction of the restaurant to something more mainstream and generally appealing, again based on a thorough analysis of the market at that time. The second risk identified is staff management. Making sure we have the right people for the right job is crucial to the success of this venture. We can ensure this happens with thorough interviewing and reference checks, trial shifts in the existing restaurant, thorough training and staff inductions, ongoing training, and a recognition program that celebrates the staff and shows them we are appreciative of their hard work. Food safety and public liability are obviously two major risks with opening any new restaurant, but with strict adherence to safety guidelines through Workplace Health and Safety and HACCP, supported by strong staff focus on safe work practices, I believe these risks can be successfully managed. Again, I want to thank you for your time today. I am confident after hearing this presentation, you can see the extraordinary investment opportunity you have before you. Please take some time to consider my offer, and I do hope that we can do business together in the future.